Well, we have a powerful storm system moving across the west and the northern plains. It's going to bring the first bout of significant snowfall for some and severe weather in other parts of the country. So 'tis the season now where we can do this side by side with a severe weather risk for parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin over the next couple of days, and winter storm watch across parts of Montana into Wyoming and the Pacific Northwest. And this is not going to be just in the mountains, but for portions of the northern plains too. At the same time, we have moisture surging northward out of the Gulf of Mexico all the way up into Minnesota, which for late October is pretty unusual. We're going to see some muggy dew points make their way all the way north. And an upper level low, big wave in the west, all putting this together, digging up that moisture, warmth out ahead of it, but drawing down some significant cold air too. We're talking about the coldest temperatures of the season for many places in the northern U.S. as well as we head into the end of the week and the weekend, but already by midweek here across especially Montana, and that's why we're going to see this moisture on the backside of the system turn to snow. But we're talking about cold making it all the way to Texas, well below normal temperatures by the end of the week. But as I mentioned, at the same time, this surge of moisture ahead of it, classic fall or spring storm system. Dew points will be in the 60s into southeastern Minnesota and into western Wisconsin even, which for late October, pretty unusual. That's a lot of water to work with. That's why we have the threat of some severe weather. Not a lot of organized storms, but we are going to see a hail threat both tonight, Monday night, and into late Tuesday across portions of southeastern Minnesota into Wisconsin, also across New Mexico and Texas. So as we head into the overnight hours, we're going to see these elevated thunderstorms develop late in the night, Monday night, into the early morning hours Tuesday across southern Minnesota. Again, the main threat will be hail because the base of these storms will be developing thousands of feet up. And then again, late Tuesday into Tuesday night, more of these elevated storms that could produce some large hail. These develop on the nose of what we call the low-level jet. So we've got the jet stream aloft, but we get a low-level jet stream that really accelerates in the overnight hours at about 4,000 feet up. And this is coming from the Gulf of Mexico, some pretty strong winds. And as that warm, moist air surges northward, it produces storms and instability. And no coincidence that following that low-level jet, we get a large swath of significant precipitation from Texas all the way into Minnesota and Wisconsin. But again, on the cold side of this system, we are looking at the potential for some wintry weather. In fact, minor to moderate winter weather severity index from the Climate Prediction Center across parts of the Dakotas into Montana and Wyoming. Large area of snow that will be developing here, along with wind, reducing the visibilities, making its way to North Dakota, even the northwestern corner of Minnesota by late Wednesday into Thursday. And again, remember, southeastern Minnesota will be dealing with potential severe weather threat. So significant snowfall, 6 to 12 inches, probably a large area from cutting across Montana into North Dakota, much lesser amounts as we head into northwestern Minnesota. But here we go. It's the time of year where storm systems bring literally almost every kind of weather.